Hi there, it's Jen from modernmedicinelady.com and the Empathic Woman System, and the word of the day is spoons. So a couple years ago, this woman wrote a blog post about living with a chronic illness and recognizing how much energy that we have, or she had, on a daily basis. And she equated it to having a certain number of clean spoons in a spoon drawer on a daily basis. And for each task or activity or thing that needed to be accomplished, you use up a spoon. And some things take more than one spoon. Some things can take a whole spoon drawer. Some things maybe takes half a spoon. But with each thing you do, you've got spoons. And when it comes to recovering from a chronic illness or living with a chronic illness, sometimes the truth is that you got less spoons than stuff to get done. So life becomes about pacing yourself and also about recognizing what's the most important stuff, what really needs to get done. And when I learned about the spoon theory, it was a time when I was recovering from chronic Lyme disease myself. And so I really had limited energy. I needed to be really careful about what I was doing with my spoons because I didn't have enough spoons to get everything done. Fortunately, at this point in my life, I've got more spoons than I used to, and most of the time, I find that I can pretty much start the day, get what I plan to get done, and pretty much have at least one clean spoon in the drawer by the end of the day. Except that right now it's the holiday season, and there are a lot of extra demands that are placed on most of us at this time of year. Not to mention that for many of us who celebrate Christmas in particular, and Hanukkah, we're up against a very, very hard deadline because the date is going to happen whether we like it or not. And in my case, not only is it Christmas, it's also my birthday. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that's all happening at once. And what I realized today as I was going out and running errands and trying to get stuff done was that I came up against my spoon limit. And there were things that I had really been hoping to do later today, but by the time I got home, after hours of just running errands everywhere, I knew that I was out of spoons and there was nothing left. And the thing is, I could have pushed myself to make the Christmas cookies I was planning on making. I could have pushed through it and just basically sucked it up and sort of pulled extra energy out of thin air and forced myself to do it. But I know that if I had done that, I would pay for it in the next couple days. I would be crankier. I would have a hard time waking up on time. I might even oversleep even if I didn't want to. And I could even end up finding myself getting sick if I push myself too far. And the thing is, this is the beginning of 3 days of festivities and connection and having stuff to do. So starting by pushing myself over the edge and using more spoons than I have available would have been a really stupid thing to do. So I made the decision that I was just going to let go and trust that if the cookies are meant to happen, they'll get done. They'll happen tomorrow or they'll happen another day. But it's kind of in the grand scheme of things, they don't really matter. And the things that really did matter, that's what I put at the top of the list. And so right now, what I'm realizing is that it's a real balance between making sure that I'm prioritizing and triaging what's at the very top of my list of what needs to get done in order to be ready for the holiday. And then second, really making sure that I'm taking extra time to take care of myself because this is an extra hectic, extra stressful, and intense time of year for most of us. So my question to you is, how many spoons have you got in your drawer right now? What have you got to work with? And if you have a limited amount of energy, which the truth is all of us have a limited amount of energy, what are your top priorities? What really needs to get done? What's the important stuff? And what's the stuff that you could either let go of, that maybe you could find a different way to do it, like instead of doing something from scratch, maybe you buy it store-bought, or, pre-made or something, or, go and pick up takeout at a restaurant. And what can you delegate so that you're not necessarily doing absolutely everything that you think you need to do, and really just focusing on what absolutely must be done and what can you just let go of. And in the meantime, how are you going to take care of yourself? So I'd love to hear what you have to think about this. Please leave some comments below. Let me know how many spoons you've got and how you're going to use them. And until the next word of the day, I am wishing you peace and ease and real clarity about your spoons and what you're going to do with them.